Thank you. Last week, Dublin City Council made a decision to close a construction project at the old St Michael's estate area of Inchicore. That decision, I think, was unwarranted and has very serious repercussions for the entire community. Yes, we must be, of course, mindful of health and safety issues, but I understand that the health and safety issues in question may have been of quite a minor nature. For example, as I say, the Council cited the health and safety issues, and my belief from the Regeneration Board that they were of a minor nature. And my information is that the health and safety authorities did visit the site and issued what is referred to as a first advice notice, which is not generally considered a reason for closing down an important work or construction site or any construction site. It's of a minor nature. It's to put people on notice, perhaps, that adjustments have to be made. That's my understanding of that notice, that the health and safety...
Unfortunately, 1 minute if you're dividing your time.
All right. Now, there are widespread fears, of course, that this closure will mean the end of the work for a very, very long time, that the issue will go into the courts because the contractor feels they were treated unfairly, and that will drag on and on and on. There is a better way. The Regeneration Board, the local community, believe that mediation could resolve this, that this is a resolvable issue, and that it has to be resolved for the best interests of the community that has waited for 15 years for a regeneration project, and that this is simply heaping disappointment upon disappointment. It's a very serious issue. It must be addressed, and I believe it is resolvable, and that is vital that we keep it out of the courts. And there are very reputable mediation agencies that could look at these issues and have this contractor back on site to complete this phase of a long-awaited regeneration project. Thank you, Laskin Conaghan.
Thank you,
Deputy Conaghan and Ellis, for raising this very important matter. It gives me the opportunity to once again confirm the Government's commitment to the regeneration of the most disadvantaged areas of our cities and towns. Despite the financial climate, we want to see real and meaningful progress made on regeneration. Capital investment in relation to regeneration will be prioritised by Minister Sullivan. Regeneration is not all about maps, plans, structures or budgets. It's about people and communities and working to make these into places where people want to live and work and do so happily and securely. We recognise the regeneration process has not always been easy. This is particularly true of St Michael's Estate project. Up to 2008, Dublin City Council progressed the regeneration project under the public-private partnership arrangements. There's no need for me to explain the background or the reasons why the PPP outcome for St Michael's Estate and other locations failed to materialise. With the encouragement of the Department, Dublin City Council established a multidisciplinary special housing task force with the objective of developing and implementing alternate options. The task force initial strategy for the phased development of 3 estates, including St Michael's, was adopted by the City Council in December 2008. In 2010, the Department approved €5.8 million for the social housing element of the first phase of the regeneration, which included 75 new housing units. I understand the contractor started on site in November 2010 with a projected 104-week time frame. The building works contract entered into in this case is between the employer, Dublin City Council, and the selected contractor, BAM Builders Limited. New forms of construction contracts for public works were introduced by the Department of Finance in 2007. These contracts apply to all housing projects, including St Michael's, and contain specific conditions relating to contract performance, dispute resolution procedures, and contract terminations. The contractor is responsible for carrying out the works in accordance with the terms of the contract, and that the works are constructed to be safe and without risk. The employer's representative may, in accordance with the terms of the contract, issue instructions to the contractor on any matter connected to the works, and the contractor shall comply with any such instruction. I understand the City Council issued instructions to the contractor regarding pressing on-site health and safety concerns. The Department has been advised that a notice to terminate the contract was served on the contractor on the 15th of February for alleged non-compliance with instructions issued. I also understand this decision was taken by the City Council following the completion of a comprehensive risk assessment undertaken in response to health and safety concerns on the site. The City Council has advised further that following the serving of the notice to terminate the contract, the contractor asked for a stay of 10 days before a final determination. I understand the City Council acceded to this request, and the legal and technical reps from both sides are currently involved in negotiations around the issue, which addresses, I think, hopefully the point that the deputies are making as regards trying to sort the issue out now. The Department of the Environment is not a party to the contract, and given that discussions are ongoing between the relevant parties, we await the outcome of these discussions and hope that we can progress this project to completion as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Conaghan, do you want to make a further statement? You have 2 minutes between you, but I'll be generous and allow 3 between you.
Yeah, last can call you what the Minister has said may hold out some hope that maybe these issues can be resolved. If they cannot be resolved in that brief time between the contractor and the City Council, that the Minister's office would use its good offices to bring forward a mediation process, because everyone believes the regeneration programme, everyone believes that a consensus can be reached about getting this project underway. Finally, Inchicore, that site, it's at the heart of Inchicore village, 15 acres. There's a hole at the heart of Inchicore village since the old flats were demolished. Disappointment has been heaped on disappointment. Dismay now is heaped on top of that. Dismay at why this work has stopped. We must do everything possible to get this project underway. And in the place of dismay and disappointment, to put hope. And I'm appealing to the Minister that perhaps, if need be, to meet members of the Regeneration Board. That board, Laskin Court, is chaired by a very eminent former senior executive of Guinness's, a very wise individual, a well-known individual. And that's the request coming from the Regeneration Board, echoing the hope of the entire community that after 20 years of waiting, that the end of that wait may at last be in sight. So there's a great deal at stake here, Laskin Coyle, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to raise that with the Minister.
Thank you, Chairman. I share the Deputy's concerns that the construction of 75 social houses and associated works on new creche and the state offices in St Michael's is progressed to completion as quickly as possible. My colleague, Minister O'Sullivan, will announce details of the capital allocation under the Social Housing Investment Programme shortly. I can assure the House that substantial capital funding will be made available to Dublin City Council in order that regeneration projects at St Michael's and other areas such as Dolphin's House, St Teresa's Garden and O'Devany Gardens can be progressed as quickly as possible. I appreciate that contractual disputes have the potential to delay the delivery of much needed projects. I am conscious that in the case of St Michael's Estate, there are onerous responsibilities of both City Council and the contractor to execute the contract in accordance with the terms of the contract. Given that the Department is not a party to the contract, Minister O'Sullivan cannot involve herself with or interfere in any way with the dispute resolution procedures which are prescribed in the contract and are in fact proceeding. I share with Minister O'Sullivan and indeed the deputies here today the concern of all that a solution is found and that work can be progressed as quickly as possible.